In this video, I want to talk about the importance of getting your first job after college. It's a concept that somebody explained to me, and I took it seriously, and I think it paid dividends in my career. And I'll give an example of myself and a classmate of mine. We had similar background, similar education, but our careers played out a little bit different in the beginning, and we had to play catch up. And we're in the same place now, but I think it was a little bit more stressful for him than it was for me. So anyway, basically, what am I talking about? Getting your first job out of college. And for example, when I graduated, I went to a couple of interviews, and I wasn't doing great on either of them because I wasn't prepared for what people were expecting of me. And I talked about it in my previous videos, and I'll talk about it again. It's beyond the point. Beyond the point is that I was not able to get the kind of jobs that I wanted to do, the jobs that get me into software development. And at the same time, a friend of mine has started a startup, and he offered me to come work there basically for free for equity. And I did, because I knew I could get relevant experience, and I understood that that experience would be very important in helping me get my next job. And that became exactly true. When I was done with my startup, about almost 2 years, a little under 2 years, I stayed there. I wrote a lot of front-end web applications type of code, and I was pretty green. My college education was in computer engineering, so it was low-level programming, if anything, and a lot of hardware stuff. But by the time I was done, I had almost 2 years of hands-on experience doing front-end web applications. And while I was still pretty green, and I went to a lot of interviews, and a lot of people passed on me, and they didn't think I knew it well enough, I was able to find a job that allowed me to do exactly what I wanted to do, which is, at the time, I wanted to continue the front-end work. And I ended up going to Citrix. Citrix worked in a GoToMeeting, a big brand company. It was big name recognition. And the reason they hired me is because they were doing the project-based interviews, and I could get in there and write code, and it was clean code. Maybe I didn't know everything there is to know about web development or front-end web development, but they could tell that I could write code, that I'm passionate about the subject, that I'm eager to learn, and I could show that, and because of the experience I had prior to that in my first job, and although I didn't get paid there. And then I got into Citrix. I was surrounded by really smart people. I got to learn a lot of really cool things really fast. And by the time a year later I was looking for my third job out of college, I had no problem at all. I got multiple offers within less than a week of looking, and they both offered me a lot more money than I was making. So, and I wouldn't be there, I think, without my first job. That I kind of took the risk. I sucked it up. I worked for not any money really, but I got the relevant job experience, and that just getting my fourth job, and now I'm on my fifth job. Actually, I lied. I'm on my fourth job now, but that one was also fine. Pretty easy to do. I had multiple offers I turned down before I finally accepted something. So the point is, it's kind of like you have to get this takeoff velocity, and it takes a little effort, but it's worth it. And the first job, if you don't get in doing something that you want to do, you will have to do it at some point anyway, so might as well make it your first job. And case in point, a friend of mine, he out of college, he went work for Google, but he wasn't doing anything that he wanted to do. He was kind of doing some automated. He was a contractor for Google. First of all, he wasn't a Google employee. Second of all, he was doing some kind of automated task that you need a smart people to do, but it's not necessarily programming, so you're not really getting relevant job experience. And he was about 2 years into that, and him and I talked, and I was like, dude, you gotta get out of this. Like, you're gonna waste your talent. Not that those jobs are not important. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But he wanted to do development, and he was totally capable and very talented in development. And I told him, look, you gotta fight tooth and nail and find a job that'll help you get this kind of experience. And to his credit, he was doing a lot of things on the side projects, learning things on his own, and he was able to get that second job for him, which was really the first job in software development. And he's actually still there currently, but I'm sure, no, actually I lied, he got a different job. The job was a jump start. He was there for about a little under a year. It wasn't perfect, and he got his second job in software, third job overall. He's still there now, and I'm sure he'll have no problem getting a fourth job because now he got this takeoff velocity. But the point is, you know, don't waste your time working for something you don't want to do. You know, I have younger kids that I take some courses with who, you know, they're just like, oh, I'm gonna work at Google doing IT. You're like, okay, is IT what you want to do? Because if it's not, then you could get an internship doing what you do want to do. If you want to do software development, you could get software development roles. Maybe it won't be at Google, but actually the experience is more relevant to the place. That's at least my advice. But I actually pretty sure that kid, he's a smart kid, he can get a software internship at Google as well. So that would be perfect, right? You get the brand name and you get to do what you want to do. The point is, don't worry about the brand name if you can get it, but the experience speaks. Experience is important, and your first job will set you for a second job. Your second job will set you for a third job, and etc. So, you know, you could, if you can't get your first job doing what you want, and you know you have to pay the bills, and that's fine, and learn things on your side. But the experience, learning things, doing projects, doing things relevant to what you want to do is how you get into what you actually want to do. So that's sort of my message for the day. Best of luck. And have fun. You know, tech is a fun industry and a lot of opportunities. So just, you know, don't give up until you find what you want to do, and then just go for it. Okay, best of luck. Talk to you soon.